I admit it. I am an addict. Always have been, always will be.
And so in this video, we're going to look at why the Steam Deck OLED is my newest obsession. I'm absolutely infatuated with it. I got it a little while ago and I want to tell you all about it. When you hold this, you have the feeling that you're definitely holding something special. These backside grips are really comfortable, very well laid out, ergonomic. And then you've got everything else here. Buttons, joypad, trackpad. All is very intuitive, very simply laid out and comfortable. On-off button here. I remember touching this for the first time and thinking, this feels a little bit flimsy. What? But then again, I thought, wow, this feels really, really special. And then that first time that I put it on and I saw that screen that everybody was talking about, and oh my wow, what a screen, what a contrast, the blacks and the colors, how everything pops. It's so lively, it's so crisp, it's beautiful. The first thing I wanted to do was to go on it and play all the games just because of how it makes them look. In this form factor, oh my god, wow. So it doesn't matter if you're mashing away at enemies like we're doing right here in Space Marines, or you're just soaking in the scenery, everything feels next level. I haven't seen the LCD, but to be honest, I wouldn't want to go back to anything less than this after playing it because it looks stunning.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah. But let me tell you what I love about it. Now, I've been gaming for as long as I can remember. I started way back on the OG Game & Watch by Nintendo. I moved on to the Game Boy, then the NES, the Super NES, had all the Sega consoles, even had a Game Gear, spent plenty of time in arcades, then moved on to console, the PlayStations, every single one up to the PlayStation 5. I dabbled with PC gaming for a few years, but really the consoles, they've always been my home base.
You don't say. You don't say!
So why is the Steam Deck OLED gripping me so hard? We'll get to that in a minute.
Yo, belly up.
So let's say I'm out on my little walk in the wild and I feel like taking care of some of those cartel guys in Wildlands. Well, nothing is easier than just pressing the orange button.
Get down, chop. Frag out, get some.
Yeah, perhaps that was a bit dramatic, but what about if I am in the kitchen and I'm cooking steak and beans and suddenly feel the urge to play some Call of Juarez? Well, I can. Do you see what I mean? But let's dive a little deeper into the technical side of things and talk specs. The Steam Deck OLED is powered by an AMD APU 6nm chip with a Zen 2 CPU, 4 cores and 8 threads. It runs up to 3.5 GHz. And the GPU has 8 RNDA 2 compute units, delivering a very impressive graphic performance. With 16 GB of RAM, it has the speed to handle basically pretty much everything smoothly, whether you're multitasking or playing demanding games. Storage, you can choose between 512 GB or 1 TB SSD, with an option to expand using a high-speed microSD up to 100 MBs. So you got plenty of space there for your library. The controls, the deck controls are designed for comfort and flexibility. You've got 4 buttons, D-pad, triggers, bumpers, and on the back there's 2 full-sized analog sticks with capacitive touch.
It's very comfortable to hold. It's great to play with.
Here's why I love this machine. I was sat here editing this video and I fancied myself a little break at gaming. And I thought, usually I'd have to turn that on, wait 5 minutes, see that everything works. Maybe there needs to be an update or something like that. Plus, it's a huge screen. Bang. I pick up this, I press the orange button, and in just a few seconds, ta-da, access to a huge library of games, which is the Steam library. And well, right here what we have are games like Batman Arkham Knight, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is absolutely amazing, especially in this form factor, Assassin's Creed Unity. What a game. I never played it before on the consoles, and my goodness, it's amazing. Ace Combat 7, which I've had the chance of actually playing sat on a plane with turbulences shaking, super immersive on this form factor. And then bada bing, bada bang, there is stuff like AAA games like Cyberpunk, which runs. And this is what makes this machine so amazing.
Another great thing about the Steam Deck, and one that may not be super obvious but really sets it apart in terms of value, is how well the games actually run on the Steam Deck. And that is because they are optimized for the Steam Deck. Now it's February 2025, and when you compare the Steam Deck to other handhelds out there, the ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go or Legion Go S, or even the MSI Claw 8 AI, or whatever that complicated name is, these are all much more powerful machines on paper. But here's the crazy part. When you actually look at the gameplay performance, the Steam Deck holds its own. And despite having a weaker hardware, most games run as well on the deck as they do on more expensive alternatives. And that is because of SteamOS, of Proton, and the Steam ecosystem, and how the games are optimized beautifully for the hardware. And for someone like me, I love to play older AAA titles. This is a huge deal. For less money, I get a handheld that delivers a comparable real-world performance to these other high-end devices, all while keeping the Steam experience intact and not breaking the bank.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just emulating an old PS Vita PES. This works perfectly. You can do this with no problem. It's a little bit of tinkering, but nothing that you can't do. And as I said, the AAA games, nothing super powerful, not the newest AAA game, but things like The Witcher 3, Phantom Pain, for example, but plenty of others. You just need to check the Steam library.
It's the Steam store, not the library store.
And what is great is that you can actually, like on a PC, tweak the settings and get the most out of the actual machine, and that is something very appealing. And I have to say that I find myself sometimes just tweaking and you know, optimizing and checking and seeing how does the game react, and not even necessarily playing, and that is actually also quite something quite enjoyable. So that's great. Another thing I love is the battery life of this, and the fact that I've used it a fair amount in the last couple of days, and I've had it on standby for 4 days now. It was at about 60% and it's now at 20%. So it's been played a fair amount in the last couple of days, plus it's sat there standby for the best part of 4 days, and it still has battery. That's great, and it'll charge up really fast too as soon as I attach it to the plug using the USB-C up here. You can pair any headphones with it and it works perfectly. It's absolutely great. The Steel series, that's where it really gets immersive.
So let's sum things up for a minute. What do we have here? We have a really well-made, well-priced, versatile, but not overpowered machine, which is fantastically kitted out with a beautiful peach of an OLED screen, large enough for immersion, for sure, if you're laying in bed somewhere. I'd say decent set of speakers. Great flexibility, because you can play this literally anywhere. Flexibility in terms of the games that you can play as well. You can emulate anything from Game Boy up to PlayStation 2, and you can play AAA games on this. You have the chance to tweak a lot. You have the chance to use it as a PC. You have a great community of people, and you have a great community of manufacturers that
produce third-party accessories for this machine. And then obviously there is Steam there, which is there to work out the best way for this machine to work. There is plenty of updates that come for the Steam Deck and have been coming for a long time. And this is probably the secret to why the games are so well optimized on this, why everything runs smoothly, while you have that, well, maybe a little bit lazy man's console feeling about this. But, well, as with all great products, this just works out of the box, and it does it really well. Would I buy this in 2025? Well, if you want to find out, you can go and watch this video up here, and I'll tell you all about that. In any case, it's been a pleasure, and if you like this little project here, why don't you just hit the thumbs up button, drop some comments if you have them, and if you enjoy these kind of videos, well, you can subscribe.
In any case, see you next time whenever the play fever grips you. And now go and watch some bouncy sheep. You know why? Because it's my channel and I can show you whatever I want. Bye bye.